Welcome students. Now we are moving on to our lesson 4 on binary files, and this lesson is about sequential and random access of binary files. What is sequential and random access in binary files? We know that every file maintains a file pointer to keep track of where read and write operation takes place, and always a read or write operation takes place in the current position of the file pointer, and the file pointer advanced to the specific number of bytes according to the operation just happened. It might be read or write. So now what is sequential access? We know that in text file we always move from the current position to the required number of bytes sequentially. For example, when a file is opened in read mode, the pointer will be placed in the beginning of the file, that is the 0th byte. And from there, if we are reading 5 bytes, first byte, second byte, third byte, fourth byte, starting from the 0th byte will be read. So there will be 5 bytes and the position of the pointer will be 5. So again from 5 we can read another 10 bytes and so on. So that is called as sequential access of files. Then what is random access? Suppose if we are able to jump directly from the beginning of the file to the middle of the file without reading the bytes which are there in between, that is called as random access of file. As an analogy, you can take that in the case of a cassette player which was used in olden days, you cannot directly jump from the first song to the fourth song. You need to listen to the intermediate songs to move on to the fourth song. That is, first song will be played, second song will be played, third song will be played, and then you have to move on to the fourth one. Or if you directly want to listen, you need to fast forward. So you need, all the tape has to be wound so that you can listen to the fourth song directly. But in the case of the recent players, what you see, your CD players or whatever your playlist which you are creating, so you can just click on the song which you want to play and you can listen to it. So you can shuffle the order, you can say first song, then 10th song, and you can do whatever you want. So that is an example for random access. And now you would have got an idea about what is sequential access, where the bytes of the file can be read only one after the other. And what is random access, where we can just directly jump from first to fourth and fourth to seventh and from front to back, and in any direction we are able to access a file. It is called as random access. So to understand sequential and random access, let us go through this example. So imagine that there are 3 items in a cylinder and in a box. See, the opening of the cylinder is in the top and this part is the opening part for the box. Okay. In the case of a cylinder, to take out the third item, you first have to take out the first item, then the second item, and then only you can reach this third item. This is an example for sequential access. But in the case of the random access, to access this item number 3, you can directly take out this item without having to go through this 1 and 2. This is an example of sequential and random access. So in the case of sequential item, what is the disadvantage? The time needed to go through all the other items before reaching the item which we need to access, that is called as the seek time. The seek time is more in the case of a sequential access. But in the case of a random access, since we can directly reach that particular item, the seek time is less. But we need to index where each item is stored in the memory. So random access has overhead in that point. To understand what is sequential and random access, let us first write a program without using pickle to store some data in a binary file. To demonstrate that random access, we cannot be using pickle to demonstrate random access, so I am using a simple text format for demonstrating it. So we are opening a file sum.dat in a binary mode, and we are getting some records. Enter employee number, name and age separated by commas, and it is that we are getting it as a string, and we are writing that entire string is converted into byte format, and we are also specifying the encoding and then writing it. And we want to add more records. How, in which format it will be written? It will be written in a string format, just concatenated strings it will be written. Only thing is the strings are separated by spaces. Okay, so now the writing part is over. We are closing the file. Now again we are opening that binary file in read mode, and from the beginning, like we are seeking from the beginning of the file and read and decode, print, close. So we are opening it from the beginning, so the entire content of the file has to be read into student, but as such we cannot display because it is in binary format. So we are again converting it by using the decode function. So how it would be decoded? It would again apply that UTF-8 format to decode, and that would be converted into string, and it is printed. So there is nothing random here. We are just writing a small program to write some data into a binary file and read it sequentially. Just sequentially we are reading it and printing it. Let us execute the program. Now we are in execution mode. Enter the employee number, name and age separated by commas. Employee number, name, age. The first employee is written. Yes, I want to continue. I want to add one more record. So this is how the data has been written in a binary file, and when we try to decode it, it is just separated by spaces. So to demarcate one record with another record, we are using space. Okay, the first record and a space, and the second record and a space, and the third record. Like this, it is stored in a binary file. Okay, now let us try random access with the same program. So instead of sequentially, now how to change it to random? So how binary file supports support the operation what text file does not support. Reading binary data in random access. Let me comment the first part. The writing part is already done. Now let us just do some modification in the reading part to make it random access. Seek 0, 0 means we are moving to the beginning of the file. Now let me just say from the beginning of the file go to the 10th position and then read and print. Okay, let us see how it works. So let me run this program. So as you can see, since we are directly going to the 10th byte, so from the 10th byte the data is read and printed. So till 10 bytes whatever data was there, we are directly going from the beginning to the 10th byte and the data is printed. So now let me try go to the 10th byte and read only 5 bytes and decode and print the value. After that again I will give f1 dot seek, go back by 5 locations from the current position and again read 5 bytes. Okay, so let us see what we have done. Opened it in read mode. So we are directly going to the 10th position, and from the 10th position we are reading only 10 bytes and we are printing that. And after that from the 10th position we are moving back 5 positions. So see here, negative positioning, also non-zero seek, that is also specified here, and from there we are reading 5 bytes and that we are printing. Let us run the program to understand what it does. Okay, F is not defined, that we can see, but you can see this one, only the first 5 bytes are read. It is F1. Okay. See here, first going to 10th byte and reading 5 bytes SAM, and again going back whatever we have read. So we are going back. So this non-zero seek is permitted here. Going in a reverse direction is permitted here. And this is what we mean by random access in the case of binary files. So again we are reading the same 5 bytes and printing. So we should check with one more option in our program. Let us do that also. Whether seeking from the end is permitted. Let us see what is the output of this program. Yes, of course it is permitted. So this is after seeking 10 bytes, we are reading the 5 bytes which happens to be comma SAM, that is printed, and then again we are from the end we are moving back 15 bytes. So from there we are reading 5 bytes and printing. So only my comma 25 space 3 is printed. Suppose if we are reading 15 bytes, let us see what is getting printed. The rest 15 bytes are read and printed. From the end we have moved 15 bytes and again we have read 15 bytes. So till the end of the file it is printing. So I want you to try these various seek operations in the case of binary files. But to check out all these things in binary files, we should store it in an unpickled format. That means as a simple text format we need to store it, so that when we decode it and print, we will be able to see the output properly. So here we are seeking with 0. Here we are seeking with 2. 2 means the end of the file, we are moving back 15 bytes, and even a non-zero, that is from the current position also, we can either move front or backward in the case of binary files, which was not possible in text files. Try out these operations. You can try it out with different values and different positions. In this lesson, we have understood what sequential and random access is. Also, how binary file support non-zero cursor relative seeks. Position 0 meaning from the beginning of the file, position 1 meaning the current position of the file pointer, and position 2 meaning the end of the file. Also, binary file support negative offset value, offset being the first argument for the seek function. Negative argument means move backwards. So even binary file support the random access in all possible ways which the text file do not support. So I want every one of you to try out the various values, like positive value for the offset, negative value for the offset, as well as for the cursor positions also, all the 3 values. Check out, try a program which will make you understand better. Thank you.